looking hoodie. All right, well, welcome everybody. Really happy to see so many participants. Really great to have you all here. And yeah, welcome to this Perp AMA with Teahouse, one of our sort of, it's a very long-term partner and a bit of a sleeper because like it hasn't gotten a lot of publicity up to now. Like I've sort of been mentioning it a few times, but it's been pretty low key up to now, at least as far as Perp's concerned. Like their own Discord is actually a pretty happening place, so I definitely recommend joining that if you're not already one of their server members. But in terms of like how much we talk about them, we haven't really talked about them all that much, but it's going to be we're going to be talking about them a lot more because they have some pretty exciting products coming up. So I'll just introduce our contact, the main person with Tea House that we're working with. It's called Night Lotus, and actually a lot of you, if you're a perp, if you're one of our community members, you've probably seen Night Lotus around helping out in Discord. She's a really amazing person who apparently doesn't need to sleep very much. She's always online helping out. So welcome, Night Lotus. Really great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here representing Tea House today. Usually, as Lee said, I'm around in perp channels as my alter ego, perp evangelist. But it's really exciting to be announcing Tea House product and partnership with Perpetual here today. Um, so Lee, we're gonna do a demo later, and it still says I can't stream into the channel with my screen share. So if you can take a look into that, that would be awesome. Um, so I guess I'll just start with introducing Tea House a little bit while
Sure.
we figure
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, sure. Well, maybe you can tell us like what you do at Tea House, and then yeah, just go ahead and tell us what Tea House is all about, and I'll work on that screen sharing issue.
Awesome, thank you. So Tea House, we do very many things, but I guess we're first and foremost a DeFi asset management platform. And we'll go into what that means a little bit later. Tea House is a highly technical team. Our team started really early, like in the 2018-19 timeframe, and we won first place in the Tron Global Accelerator competition, and we were also part of the Binance Labs Accelerator Batch 2. I believe Doom Analytics is another one of the guys in that batch. So we have a long history, and we really wanted to do something impactful on the blockchain, but we're looking for our niche until Uniswap v3 came out in May 2021, and we thought, okay, this is it. This has to be big. There has to be a solution to the liquidity provision problem where there's like an optimal solve for how to make the most fees based on the market conditions. So that's what we really dived into. And since it came out in May 2021, in like less than 3 months afterwards, in August, we got funding for this project and started Tea House Finance. The funding round was led by Pantera, and also Perp was one of our investors in that round as well. So we've been working well since then. So our focus has always been on concentrated liquidity provision because that was the problem we set out to solve. But right now we have many other strategies as well, and we've branched into other, I guess, segments of blockchain, including blockchain gaming, which is my favorite, and also NFTs. We have our own Tea House High Table NFT series, and then we are also working on our DeFi products.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that rundown. And yeah, it's really exciting to see. I mean, every time there's a partner that integrates with Perp, obviously we're super excited about it. And Tea House has been one that I've been really looking forward to for basically since I heard about it, which was like when was that? When did you guys start becoming active? Was that? I feel like it's over a year ago now or more. Is that right?
Yeah, it has. I joined around October 2021, so just a couple months after we started. But when I started, you were already around, so yeah, it's been a while.
It has, it has. So yeah, super exciting to finally have you guys. Like I've always wanted to have you guys on, but it just the timing wasn't right, and the timing is finally right now. So can you tell us a bit more about like I'm sure people want to know like how you guys are integrating with Perp and like how Perp users could potentially use your platform if they're, because we do have a lot of community members who sort of know about the protocol, but they're not really active traders. So they may be looking for some other way to use the protocol. So can you tell me a bit about like how you guys integrate and how our users might be able to take advantage of your products?
Yeah, sure, great. First, let me tell people a little bit about the platform in general and what it is, and then how some of our strategies are built on top of Perp. So when we wanted to do concentrated liquidity provision, we realized that we need to have like a fundamental structure to support all of that. It's basically we envision a platform where in the future anybody can provide strategies on the platform, and any users can put their assets into whatever strategy that they select on the platform. So we connect providers with LP providers and investors, as well as our community members, kind of together in the same ecosystem. So we have this what we're calling the platform, our Teahouse platform. It can support different types of strategies, and we have a strategy management framework to kind of manage all of this. And we have what's called atomic strategies that usually work with very simple structured DeFi products. So maybe one of them would do um, lock funds on Aave, for example. That could be one of the atomic strategies. And then we have these more complicated umbrella strategies that the users can put their funds into, that uses these underlying atomic strategies to be able to kind of do the DeFi Lego and build on top of each other. And a few of our strategies currently are built on the perpetual protocol Curie. Um, what that means is we do all the integrations. We use the APIs to talk to the perp, and then our users don't have to set the liquidity ranges or leverage or do any hedging. We do all of that for the users. So we currently have three strategies that run on top of Curie. One of them is the one that we're launching. We've just launched this week, actually, on Monday. And all three of them take advantage of the perp rewards, with the OP rewards and the perp rewards. And then we do all the management. So the users just have to put in their funds, and then that's it. They don't have to come back and claim the rewards because we do that every week for them. We You don't have to set the range because you have to guess your liquidity provision ranges to be able to have it as small as possible to be concentrated to get the most fees, and yet not have the spot price fall out of that range. Um, and we do all of that for you, and we dynamically set that based on the market conditions. Some of the inputs that we use include the volatility and kind of the trending of the market to decide when and what to set the ranges to, so that we run an algorithm in the background and do all of that automatically for the users. Oh, and the difference between the three vaults is that this new one is completely available to anybody, to the public. The other two that we've done before are gated by our Tea House High Table NFTs for our holders only. So this is a really good opportunity for non-holders to give this strategy a try before potentially getting our NFTs and getting access to our other strategies. Or if you just think this strategy is good enough for you, you're welcome to put funds into the public strategy as well. And this partnership was made possible by a grant from Perp. Thank you, Perp, as usual. So Perp wanted to benefit their ecosystem users. So they said, hey, I know you guys have these vaults available that are doing pretty well. Some of our APYs are really high. The one that we're opening right now, another private vault that's running the same strategy has a historical yield of 39.33% over the last 4 weeks from when we launched. So double digit APY is pretty regular in our vaults. So Perp wanted to make that public for other users who are not our NFT holders, and we established a collaboration through a grant from Perp and was able to make that available to other people.
Awesome. Yeah, we're always happy to give a boost to anyone who's building on us, and who's building something to help our users. So we're definitely happy to do that. Especially when it comes to like automated strategies. I think a lot of people want to have an option where, like LPing on Perp V2 is potentially profitable, but it's also, they have potential for loss, and it does take pretty active management, and not everybody has time to manage it actively or come up with their own strategies. Can be pretty daunting. So having automated strategies is super important, especially like for myself. I have a busy schedule. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time actively managing a strategy or like figuring out the best strategy for me. So having options like this is really, really great. And I like the fact you said you don't have to claim the rewards yourself. It's claims automatically. That's pretty huge. I think a lot of people find it's annoying to like have to claim it every week or whatever. Am I getting that right? Like the rewards will automatically go into your wallet, or is it like auto compounded, so the rewards are automatically added to the money you have in the vault, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's the latter, actually. So we do the claiming for you, and that's all added. We actually saw everything right away, and we have weekly rounds. So for those of people who don't want to lock their money for longer periods of time, so it's really flexible. So you can enter and exit every week, basically. And once you enter, we take care of all the claiming for you and all the settings, so you don't have to come back, and you come back only when you want to withdraw or put more funds in, basically. So all the APY that we quote actually already include the rewards. So that's actually a pretty big boost to our APY. So we have approximately half of our APY coming from the strategy and the other half coming from the rewards, depending on the market. But I would say around that range. But sometimes with the token price going up and down with the market, it changes. But um, it's pretty even right now, I think. Um, and basically, what Lee was saying, it's meant for people who don't want to come back and change their settings, but who are not like actual coders who already have all of this automated. So if you do already have it automated, um, and if you think your strategy is doing really well, maybe you can come to talk to Teahouse, and we can see if it makes sense to put your strategy on the Teahouse platform. That's a goal we're working towards the future. But if you're not a coder who already have everything automated, Teahouse can do it for you for a small fee, so that you don't have to come back and worry about resetting the ranges or picking up the rewards. Everything will just be done automatically and auto compounded into the vault if you don't pick up. And if you do, you redeem the token back. So we'll go through a demo of that in a little bit.
Yeah, really looking forward to that demo. But before we get to that, I do have a couple more questions for you. So I think you just mentioned that the strategies run on a weekly basis. So when do you start the week? Like when do the strategies start? And what happens if I want, let's say it starts, let's say, it's not the day that it starts. If I deposit my funds, like what happens?
Yeah, sure. So the reason why this particular strategy is run on a weekly basis is because the perp rewards are distributed on a weekly basis. So we felt like it was the most fair. So whenever it's distributed, we liquidate that portion of it right away and put it back into the fund and distribute the P&Ls to the holders of the Vault tokens. If you put in money prior to a beginning of the round, the money will kind of sit around in our vault until we put it into perpetual carry when the round starts. And the rounds are starting, I believe, every Monday at 4-ish p.m. Taiwan time, I believe. We have our strategy providers take care of this. So um, maybe Jack, who is in our tech chat, can help me give the exact time, but it's also listed on the actual UI as well. So if you put money before this time, we'll hold it for you and put it into perpetual at the round start. And if you want to take money out, you would have to indicate you want to withdraw and then wait until the round closes before you can redeem the actual USDC. Oh, by the way, the fund runs on USDC on the Optimism chain. All of our other strategies have been running on Ethereum, but we ended up having to do some bridging and administrative stuff in the back end. And it's a little bit of an overhead for both us and the users. So we felt like if perpetual users are already familiar with Optimism, we might as well just put it on Optimism and save us the fees and the times for the bridging and stuff. So that's what we did for this strategy. Some of our other strategies have Ethereum based as well. So right now, our you can put either Ethereum or USDC into our strategies, but for this particular one that's public, it's based in USDC.
All right, excellent. Actually, just while you were talking, or something happened to my Discord browser window. It died, so I missed part of what you said, uh, but I caught the end of it. So that's good. So I'm guessing you mentioned what happens when you deposit funds like midweek.
Right. I'll be
Okay.
on hold until the next round starts. But we didn't
All right,
want to
excellent. So yeah,
only
when
open a period when like you can only put money in on Sundays because some protocols do that, and we find it a little bit limiting. So we made it so you can put in assets anytime you want, but it won't actually go live until when the round starts.
yeah, that really makes sense. Yeah, if you're away from your computer or whatever during that key window,
Yeah,
it could
that's
be
just
pretty
really
frustrating.
annoying.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
we
how
made
about
it so
with
you can
how
do it
about
at any time, but don't expect it to be making APY for you until the round actually starts, basically. And Jack
yeah?
has
All right, but
answered
the
the
UI will
exact
warn you about it,
timing.
right?
Yes, yes, it will. And the UI will also show you the start and end time of periods, but of each round, I mean. But HCC has answered in the per cafe chat. It's Monday, 5 p.m. Taiwan time is when we stop taking deposits, and Tuesday at 5 p.m. The new round starts. So
Yeah, definitely check out the chat for this voice channel if you haven't already. There's like a on the desktop version on the upper right, you'll see like a chat icon. You can open up the chat window. On mobile, I forget exactly how to do it, but there's definitely a chat. You can open it up and have a look at the chat for this voice channel, and there's some extra info in there. So I guess for withdrawals, he's also saying withdrawal requests. Is it the same deal? You can make the withdrawal request anytime, but
yes.
it'll only process during that 24-hour period.
Exactly, exactly. And then you have to come back and claim your USDC after it closes because we don't know the exact um, real-time value until we do the counting at during that 24-hour period. So, but while we're doing the accounting, your money is still in the vault. If you did not take it out, it's still generating fees for you. It's only for the people who are entering and exiting would that matter.
All right. Yeah, excellent. that was, yeah,
Someone asked,
there's
where
someone asking
does
the
the
question of where the
fund
funds are.
stay when we deposit midweek? Yeah, we might as well just cover that. So the fund will stay in our smart contract. It's all online and you can see it.
Yeah. Master Liang limbo, which is kind of true, but it's in smart contract limbo, so no need to worry.
It's a visible
Um,
limbo where you can see where it is, but you just can't do anything.
Unlike the traditional limbo, which you just have to believe in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for that question. I don't think we'll take, we'll like, if you have questions, definitely put them in the chat. We may not answer them right away, but we'll get to them during the Q&A session a little bit later. Um, let's see. Yeah, so I'm wondering, it sounds like you say, there's that 24-hour period where the strategy manager will do some processing. So does that mean like there's some off-chain processes involved in Teahouse?
Yes, there are some off-chain processes where we do the accounting and calculations, and we actually are currently manually claiming the perp rewards right now, but we want to hopefully automate all of that in the near future. And we have already done quite a bit of automation and just getting everything, the infrastructure ready, but it's not fully automated yet. So some things are still done manually, but we'll try to move it to automate as soon as we can. We do notice that perpetual also sometimes have delays in issuing rewards when there's a holiday or something. So I'm just wondering, is Perp doing the reward manually as well?
Yeah, so things like Pool Party and Lazy River are basically, actually, I'm not sure about Lazy River, but definitely Pool Party is has a bunch of off-chain components. Since it's a marketing campaign, it's not really part of the DEX itself. There are some off-chain calculations that are done. At the same time, we do some basically fraud prevention if we see some strange behavior. Like last year, at some point, we noticed people were doing some basically wash trading where you could trade against yourself and get extra rewards that way. So
Hmm.
we do some analysis to try and weed out that kind of activity. And that's why you'll see sometimes, yeah, like just recently for over the new year, the rewards were delayed by a day, and basically that's because the team is off, and so it gets a little bit delayed. Hopefully that won't affect you guys too much.
It, I was just gonna say, when you guys delay it by a day, we have to delay our vault by a day, which is okay. We've kind of streamlined that process. We have notifications in our Discord and everything, but that is something that we want to automate in the future.
All right, so you heard it, folks. You definitely need to join the T House Discord and make sure you get the latest. I'll just post, yeah, okay. I'll just post a link in the chat. So if you're not already in their Discord, you can join it. There's definitely lots going on, and if you're planning to use their strategies, it's good to keep up to date with the latest updates and notifications if there's something delayed. All right,
Yes,
I
yes, we
think
do
I think
most of our communications through Discord.
excellent. All right, so we're sort of moving on in time. I don't know, maybe we should go to the demo and then open things up to questions from the audience. I'm sure people have some things they want to know about. So what do you think? Are you ready to do the demo?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me share my screen.
All right, so everybody make
Can
sure to
you
click.
see?
Yeah, make sure to click, like you'll see at the top, there's a new user that says Night Lotus, and you can click on watch. Make sure to click on watch so it'll open up the screen. You can see what Night Lotus is sharing. Definitely do not follow Master Liang's advice. Although I'm hoping
What
he
is
will
he
do that.
saying?
He says press Control W, which is definitely.
Oh no, don't do that. I think he got me once. Uh, might have been the birthday party. Uh, yeah, I got
Okay.
tricked into pressing that. All right, so everybody can see my screen? Yes, good.
I can definitely see it. Yeah.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go through some what you're seeing on the screen and just go through some details. So our strategies are categorized into either high risk, medium risk, or low risk based on several metrics, including the maximum drawdown. So high risk have, like up to 50% maximum drawdown, which means high risk and high rewards. The trend could, 1 week, I think we have like a 400% APR. And then 1 week it was like negative 200% maybe, but it goes up and down. But if you're in it for the long run, we've done quite well. Usually we average double digits APR. So this falls into the high risk category because providing liquidity is pretty high risk. You can potentially lose a lot of your funds, but then it can also be very profitable for you. So right now, this is what the risk level means. This is the link to our Discord, which we just posted. So this is the name of our strategy. So all of our strategy pages look like this. So this one in particular is the Perpetual Protocol LP strategy that's public, and it is a concentrated liquidity provision strategy on Perpetual Protocol V2 Curie. And here are some of the stats. So I think I saw someone, maybe it was Master Lan, asking if we're going to raise the capacity. So right now the capacity is 100K for this round. So we're saying this week you can put 100K. So every week it'll be 100K, I guess. And I believe the total TVL we're targeting is maybe around 2.5 million for this one. We think per platform, per protocol, would be able to support this amount of liquidity. Anything that's higher may be less efficient because you're providing more liquidity compared to the trade volume. So each, I guess, dollar you have would not make as much yield if that were the case. So we usually have a cap on our strategies based on what's underlying DeFi products that you run on. So for this particular one, we set it to 100K. And out of that 100K, we already have 11 uh, taken, and this was from the launch on this Monday. So none of this fund has gone to perp yet because we have that 1 week hold. When it starts on the 16th, 1 a.m. my time, this is based on your computer time. So on the 16th at 1 a.m., this is when the request will end. And then the round will end. This is to be updated because of the way we have it read like a file. It's off because it's the first round. But once we go into the first round, this will get updated to the correct date, which is 2023 01/17 at 1 a.m. my time. And at that time, the fund that you see here will go into perpetual. And then this is the share token supply, how many OPT plus P. This is our internal format. You don't have to worry too much about it. But this is basically a representation of what percentage of the fund you hold. So once you make a deposit, you will hold some amount of OPT plus P when you claim it. And the initial value, it starts out at 1 USDC, but as the fund goes up and down, this value will change, and that will reflect into how much of the asset you can redeem back to your wallet. And then we have some fee structure here, and then we already talked about weekly rounds. We also go into a little bit more detail on the strategy. So the strategy is USDC based, and we put the funds into Perp LP, and we also do some hedging for you. So the fund is completely used up between the LPing and the hedging. One of our other strategies have a stable reserve where we put some amount of portion of whatever the users put into a more stable reserve to kind of hedge the APYs and the market. But then if we have the stable reserve, it makes the strategy a little bit lower risk. So that one is actually medium risk. But then on the flip side, you get less profit because a portion of it is in a reserve and not running on perp. So for this particular one, everything is either LPing or hedging. And then from the LP, we also get OP and perp rewards that we sell off and put back into the vault. So this is kind of what strategy does. And then we go over some risk like smart contract risk, market risk, and platform rewards. So you can read into that if you want to. Last week's APR is 0 right now because there was no last week. This is the first week we're going to start running it. The 39.33% quote that I gave you earlier for the previous performance is for another vault that's private, that's gated by our NFT, that's running the exact same strategy. So it's very comparable. You can basically take that and substitute it here. So right here we have what we can use to control the vaults, so we can deposit or withdraw. So right now I can try to do a deposit. Note that it runs on the optimism chain, so it's not connected. Let me try. Oh no, it's laggy. Let me try to refresh the page. So MetaMask seems to be laggy. I had to click on it 4 times for it to show up. Okay, now it's reading it. I have $3.33 in my wallet, so I'm going to try to deposit one of those dollars. And when I click on deposit, it'll say the funds you deposit will be processed and deployed at this time and date. And any unwithdrawn USDC, that's if you had participated in the vault earlier and already had some USDC to be claimed. We're saying by depositing, we'll also give those back to you since you forgot to claim them yourself earlier. But since we're not in that scenario, we'll just process the deposit, pay the gas fee, and you can see that I will have $2 pending deposit because I did a test earlier, so that there was already $1 pending here. And with that additional dollar I just put in, now I have $2 pending. So when the round ends, I will have those $2 generating transaction fees for me. And then this ready to claim is when you come back after the round starts, it will translate the pending deposit and move that to the ready to claim. So in the beginning, you will have two OP, or I will have two OPT plus P tokens ready to claim. And then when I claim it, it'll be in my wallet. But if I don't claim it, if I just deposit and forget, it's okay. I'll just kind of sit here until you come back. It won't, it's all on chain, it's in our vault, so we'll hold it for you. It won't go anywhere. And it's not always a one-to-one relationship. As the fund starts running and we generate different P&Ls, the price would change. So for every dollar you put in, you may not get back exactly one OPT plus. So that kind of depends on the fund. So if I want to withdraw, right now I can't show it to you because you would have to first request a withdraw. So you redeem your OPT plus P tokens for some amount of pending withdraw. So if I want to say I want to redeem the 2 that I put in, it will go here into pending withdraw. I would have 2 OPT plus P tokens. And after the round ends and we do the counting, it would translate those 2 to how much USDC you can withdraw. So you have to redeem first and then wait and then come back when it's ready and do the withdraw. And then when you withdraw, you're moving the available USDC from the vault to your wallet, if that makes sense. So if you try it out like once, you'll get how everything works. It may sound a little bit complicated, but it's really not. And we would have the performance charts, the P&L, the token price, and the AUM charts here once the fund starts running. Right now, there's no data to render the chart, but you'll see like the different graphs for that. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it with the demo, all one page.
Cool. Yeah, looks really great. That's what we like. One page gets everything done. So the OPT plus P is basically like, is that like an LP token essentially?
Yes, yes, that's the representation of
All right.
um, how much fund you, how much, what the percentage you have in this fund. It's not exactly LP token because in the fund we do other things like hedging, so it's not exactly um, one to one with how much liquidity you have running in Perp. Also, right now we have two trading pairs that we do underlying you don't see, but we're doing BTC and ETH, the two main ones right now. We experimented with smaller pairs, but they're not as stable, so it's a little bit more difficult to ensure like a good APR. So right now we're not doing those, but we're looking into maybe portfolio strategies where we could take advantage of more hedging across different tokens.
All right. Sounds great. Yeah. We're looking forward to seeing how this progresses. And I'm sorry if I got maybe a little distracted. I'm not sure if you also did you show the strategy and risk tabs
Yes.
in the main
Yep.
panel there? Okay, yeah. So, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I remember now. So yeah, definitely everybody before you use any DeFi project, doesn't matter if it's a bridge or a vault like this or a DEX like perpetual protocol. Always make sure to do full research on the risks and like what kind of try and get as much information about how it works before you start. Um, it's definitely
Yeah,
the sort
talking
of
about that, you can also look at our smart contract here on the summary page. So if you click into that, you will see the contracts.
nice. Yeah, so definitely any of this kind of more technical question, I would probably recommend you go to the Teahouse Discord and chat with them. They definitely got some very technical people working there who will be very happy to chat with you about the more technical aspects of how the project works. So if we're done
Yes,
the
please
demo, I guess,
do.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, if we're done the demo, I guess we can move on to the Q&A.
Yeah, before we do that, I'll just show a couple other things since I'm sharing my screen, and then after that, I think I'll just turn it off. So this is our AMA attendee NFT that you guys can get if you stay in the Discord room for more than 15 minutes. We have like a series of different, this is the third in the series, and I think it's super cute. Perp helped design this with the Perp Shark, and Teahouse is the motorcycle, and this is very Taiwanese. If you're from Taiwan or if you know Taiwan well, you know there's like tons of these motorcycles, and then the shark is drinking the boba tea. That's our logo. So it's really cool. I really love it. Oh, and Perp also made this into a hoodie that you can purchase on the Perp store. I was supposed to get one to wear today, but it hasn't arrived yet. It's supposed to arrive today, but looking at the tracking, it's delayed until tomorrow. So I'm a little sad that I didn't get to wear it, but since the video wasn't on anyway, so that's okay. So this is the one you'll get after this AMA if you want to claim it. And then if you go to our space, there's some other ones as well. There's one for our followers, and then there's one for our holders only. So the second one is for holders only. Just wanted to share some of our cool NFTs we have. And then the other thing I want to show is our NFT page for our Tea House High Table NFTs. So many of our other strategies are gated behind our Tea House NFTs. We will have a second phase sale sometimes Q1 of 2023. So our first phase was, I think it was around April, May timeframe of last year. We have yet to reveal, so everyone's waiting forever for the huge reveal, which will happen after our second phase sale. So if you kind of experiment with our public vault and really like it and want to get access to our other strategies, you can consider maybe getting an NFT if that's within your funds, I guess. That's all I wanted to share. So I'll give the floor back to Lee.
Excellent. Yeah, so if you're part of this AMA and you've been listening for more than 15 minutes, you should be able to go over to Galaxy and claim that NFT. Nilos, do we want to put the link to that in the chat so people can find that easily?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
All right, excellent. Okay, so if there's, yeah, I guess we'll just open up the floor to questions. You can just put your question in the chat. I'll just, we have some questions already in the chat. If you haven't opened the chat yet, I definitely recommend you do so. It's pretty active. We've got the bear chain enthusiasts here already. Great to see you. All
I
right, so we do actually
remember
have some
you.
questions already. Let's see. Just sorting through the spam from Master Liang here is quite a lot. All right, so we already answered the first question from Rafid, so we'll continue on. All right. I think we answered the one from Master Liang too about will the size of the pool expand in the future?
Right, we covered that. So right now the 100K is per week, so don't worry. If you are a whale, we do recommend you not use the public vault and come talk to us. But I think the 100K should support the individual users. But if you are a whale or represent an institution, please do come talk to us if you're interested in putting assets into one or multiple of our vaults. And then the cap on this entire strategy right now is set at 2.5 million, I believe.
Okay, so that means it can increase by 10K or 100K rather every week up to 2.5 million. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, that's the current setting right now. Yes.
Okay. All right, that's very interesting. So if you missed the first week, don't dismay. You can get in on the second week. All right, we have another question from Rafid, which is a great one, which is, and we may have answered this one already, but it might be good to just reiterate. Are my funds automatically moved to the next round?
Yes, they are. So
Okay,
if you
great.
don't
So
come
yeah, if
pick
you're
up
looking
your
for something
funds,
long term,
it just runs continuously until you come back and give the intention you want to withdraw. You can see the funds, it's all visible on chain. We don't do anything shady. We don't claim we have funds and not. So everything is all visible and on chain and it'll automatically get rolled over to the next week until you pick it up.
excellent. Yeah, 2022 saw some pretty shady business, so it's good to hear that everything is on chain and easily auditable by anyone. All right, looks like we have a non-spam question from Master Liang. Thank you, sir. Could we know more about how the APR is calculated? Does that number come from the real APR for the NFT gated pool for Perp?
Yeah, that is actually a great question. Thanks for asking. The APR is basically based on the weekly performance P&L multiplied by 52. And because that 39.33 was averaged over 4 weeks, so at the time of my press release, we averaged the last 4 weeks APR, and each APR is calculated by multiplying the P&L by 52. So that's where that 39.33 came from. Of the private vault that's gated by the NFT, correct. So I can maybe bring that up. see. So there's another page for our NFT holders that uh, gets you to the gated strategies, and that one has like the historical values and everything. Should I share my screen again, or should I just take screen captures?
It's up to you. Although we're kind of running out of time, so I think if people want to know maybe like more in depth, they can just go to the Teahouse Discord and ask directly. I just want to make sure we're able to
Yeah,
get to all the
actually, that's
questions.
probably better. Hmm. Sure. Yeah. So the answer is it's P&L multiplied by 52 average over the last 4 weeks is how we got that number.
Excellent. We've got yet another excellent question from the venerable Master Liang. Any plan to launch strategies that take advantage of funding rates? Although he says funding rates, so I'm not sure if that's some other thing. Maybe you can clarify. Oh, actually, okay. HTC does answer it right away just below. He says that the funding rate strategy is on hold, so I guess they're still looking into that. But I'm assuming it
Yes.
would
So we
be.
did have some of our strategists looking into that, but it proved to be not very intuitive slash profitable. So right now it's on hold. We may go back to it though if we figure out a better plan for it.
All right. Master Liang is on fire today with the puns. Yeah. All right, so we have a question from Saluma. Is there any burn? Now, I'm not exactly sure what there is to burn, so maybe I can ask her a related question. Is there or will there be a Teahouse token?
Oh, very good question. Yes, of course. Every project needs a token, right? So we have had plans and have been planning to launch our T tokens for a very long time, but given the market right now, our investors are recommending not to launch in the near future until we have a better market. And we think that's a very sound advice, so we'll follow that advice. But kind of related to that, if you're an early user, if you hold some of our Galaxy NFTs, if you hold our, most importantly, our high table NFTs, you will get, be the first in line to get some of those tokens when they launch with no dates yet. So pick up our NFTs.
Sounds good. So another question from Master Liang. Any plan to show my balance on Xerion for this strategy? So do you have any integrations lined up with
We
that
do
kind of
already show up
platform?
in DBank. Yeah, our strategies are currently showing up in DBank. HCC might know more about it because it's his project. I don't know this particular one because it's so new. It will show up right away, but it will be on DBank eventually. Not sure about Xerion. Is that one that's very popular? Because HCC can definitely take the lead on partnering with them as well. Hi, Lee, are you back?
I'm back. People want the tea.
So I'm really happy to be here in the Perp community. We get a lot of support from Perp in terms of investments, partnerships, everything. So we love Perp, and I'm really looking forward to that scooter shark hoodie. So it's one of the cutest ones available on the Perp store so far. I don't know if it's already listed in store or if it takes a little bit, but make sure you check that out. Perp has some awesome merchandise, and this scooter hoodie is my top list, the top on my list to get, I guess.
Anyway, the hoodie that you mentioned is not available on the shop yet, but definitely keep an eye out for that. I believe it will be probably soon. Definitely make sure to check out the link for the Galaxy NFT. You can scroll up in the chat to find that one. or just ask us about it later. If you were in this call for more than 15 minutes, the Galaxy bot should have picked you up. So you can just go and connect your Discord account to Galaxy and be able to claim the NFT. But I think it worked. It went pretty well overall. Yeah, really great turnout. So happy to see all of you here, and thanks so much for coming on, Night Lotus. It's really great to talk to you. Sorry we couldn't see you. We'll have to have you maybe on a community call sometime soon. After the strategies have been running for a little while, so we can get a chance to speak some more. I'm just going to post the link one more time for the Teahouse Discord. Make sure you head over there. If you have any problems claiming the NFT, let them know. But I'm sure it'll
I
go
will.
fine.
I just posted again the Galaxy link if anyone wants to grab the NFT. These will get accounted for when we, think about who we want to give T tokens to.
Excellent. Okay, well, thanks so much for coming, everyone. And yeah, that's a wrap.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having us, Lee and Perp. Thanks, HEC, for helping.